My situation over the 12 years that I've been here entertaining you on television. Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey. She'll be almost, I think she'll be 3 next month, don't you know? Good morning, Kelvin. It's my truth.
So I'm not gonna take a lot of time because, you know, I'm getting emotional. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever bring the energy, the charisma, the passion, the expertise, the talent, and whatever else you want to call it, like you seen Kelvin Hunter and my ex, Wendy Williams, and the team that was behind us. And I mean the whole team. That includes my current lady now. Yeah, I said it.
Sharina Hudson seemed to have her whole life planned around being the side chick to Wendy's husband. This ex-mistress, ex-fiancé, and baby mama to Kevin Hunter apparently had an entire reality show lined up, centered on the chaos of being Kevin's mistress. It was supposed to launch right before Wendy's health completely fell apart, but when Wendy's show got canceled, so did Sharina's last big shot at cashing in on Wendy's clout and finally making a name for herself. I always wondered how and why Sharina was so comfortable staying a mistress for so long. But with these new reports, it looks like these two may have been cut from the same cloth, at least until Wendy stopped bringing in the coins. And honestly, that timing raises more questions about what Sharina's real intentions were from the beginning.
I don't recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
The common denominator between these two ladies was Kevin Hunter, and he has been going through it ever since Wendy was placed under legal guardianship. His alimony check stopped coming in, and things got so bad for Kevin that he filed a $250 million lawsuit to get Wendy freed from her guardianship because it was becoming increasingly difficult for him to sustain his lifestyle. Kevin was eventually forced to sell his $1.2 million home along with his luxury cars. But the biggest shocker was that his soulmate, best friend, lover, and forever partner, Sharina Hudson, left him high and dry. Girl, we thought these two were going to ride until the wheels fell off. But apparently, Sharina loved Wendy's money and the attention she received from being Wendy's competition even more. So really, it seemed like she was more in love with Wendy than Kevin. For the 16 years they were together, Sharina was out living her best life, not having to work, while enjoying a comfortable and luxurious lifestyle on Wendy's dime. He bought her a house that was only 9 miles away from the home he shared with Wendy, along with a diamond engagement ring worth $80,000. Not to mention the luxury cars and designer clothes that were purchased throughout their 16-year affair. Sharina also launched multiple businesses, from massage therapy services to clothing lines, but they all eventually failed and shut down. Insiders say there were unpaid debts, poor management, and a tendency for Sharina to expand too quickly because the money was available, causing each business to collapse every time. So, when a divorce attorney noted that the amount of money Kevin spent on Sharina constituted a wasteful dissipation of marital funds, he was really right. When they got together, Kevin had reportedly promised her that he would make her just as successful as Wendy and turn her into a star in her own right. The thing is, Wendy hired Kevin as her manager, and he was an executive on the Wendy Williams show. She relied on him quite a bit since she was constantly running her mouth and needed someone behind the scenes to help manage everything. So, in Kevin's mind, he made Wendy successful, and if he could do it for her, then it wouldn't be difficult to do the same thing for Sharina. They were exploring every possible way they could leverage Wendy's money, fame, and connections to turn Sharina into something bigger. And when the business angle didn't work out, Kevin and Sharina came to an agreement that they would pivot into what was supposed to be Kevin's strongest suit, television. Kevin arranged for Sharina to do an interview and was reportedly behind the scenes directing it as a way for her to gain some initial visibility. And once the interview got Sharina a bit of traction and attention in the media, Kevin sprang into action and began shopping the idea of a reality show around to networks with which he had relationships. The plan was for the reality show to become Sharina's redemption arc and finally show her side of the story, especially since Wendy had her own platform to go in on her however she wanted. Now Kevin and Sharina were engaged, and their daughter, Journey, was already in the picture. On top of that, the interview and ever-growing controversy surrounding Sharina's life suggested that the show could perform well once it finally aired. And since Wendy had essentially built a career talking about other people's lives, there were people, for better or worse, who wanted a front-row seat to watch her life seemingly fall apart. The whole situation was becoming a potential television goldmine for everyone involved.
Kevin had gone to LA for business. And I hired a PI. Yes, I did. I hired a PI to follow my husband. And this guy is telling me that Kevin is in Miami with the girl. This is where you show the picture of them on the beach. You know the picture where she's going to the camera and he's laying there on the cell phone like they're chilling like a couple. You understand what I'm saying? The PI was taking pictures of them going to the gym, going to dinner, her with Gucci, Poochie, and Lucci.
And even if Kevin did support Wendy and played a part in her show's success, the thing is, he isn't Wendy. Wendy is a star all on her own, and there was no way anyone could understand the media and celebrities the way she did or deliver news quite like that. Wendy had an IT factor that made her successful, and there was no amount of leverage Kevin could pull to turn Sharina into something she simply wasn't. Sharina was probably in such a hurry to become a star that she was convinced the test run would do well with executives and prospective audiences. But there was one thing neither Sharina nor Kevin planned for, and that was Wendy getting sick. Wendy was absent during the entire last season of the Wendy Williams show because she was struggling with numerous health issues. She had complications from Graves' disease, had to go to a psychiatric clinic, and was diagnosed in 2024 with frontotemporal dementia. It was just a lot. Wendy's show was eventually canceled after weeks of deliberation and online speculation. And it was only after she left that fans began to feel the void she was leaving behind, especially since she had been a major part of the media landscape for 38 years. A lot of people grew up watching her. And instead of Kevin maybe taking a back seat and allowing everything to play out, he came online to complain about his alimony checks being stopped while the wife he cheated on was fighting for her life and freedom. He sounded extremely angry and entitled, saying, "Wendy was in rehab, and these people just stopped depositing my money cold turkey. Now I'm demanding to see all of the bank records from the time of the divorce until now. And that will show what's really going on. These people have tried to starve me out. At the end of the day, I earned that money, and I'm not letting them take it from either of us." This made it even more obvious to some people that he didn't care about Wendy at all. It had always been about the money. And folks were not here for it, saying, so the plan was just to live off Wendy's alimony payments? Kevin Hunter hasn't tried to start a business or get a job. I thought he was the mastermind behind Wendy Williams' business. He is a tragedy. Others said, that man did everything to tear that woman down. I hope he never gets another penny from her. Maybe she was pushed out of her show because of mental and medical reasons. And on top of that, she still hasn't launched that podcast. Her not working affects his and his girlfriend's ability to feed off her. The overall sentiment was pretty negative and harsh toward both Kevin and Sharina. Like, how did Kevin expect Wendy to keep paying him when she wasn't working, wasn't making money, and was dealing with serious health issues on top of a restrictive guardianship? With Wendy gone, folks wanted them gone too. Out of our faces completely. The reality show was completely shelved because major networks, including Bravo and WeTV, which the project was reportedly shopped to, viewed the Sharina project as toxic for their brands. Audiences for reality shows were also demanding more authenticity and relatability from the cast, and there was no way people would support a project that continued to show how Wendy was allegedly exploited. It's really wild to me that they thought they could leverage Sharina's notoriety as a mistress and turn it into drama that people actually wanted to watch. Even if people didn't like Wendy, the one thing folks hated even more was seeing someone get kicked when they were already down. And that's exactly what the show would have done to Wendy if it ever saw the light of day. Wendy gave Sharina more than enough time to get her life together. She had all the time in the world to make money, build something, and create her own lane, but she reportedly failed at every step. And Sharina already knows not to expect sympathy because there are people who won't forget how she and Kevin played Wendy. The fact that they allegedly fumbled all that money tells you everything. They wasted money that most people spend their entire lives trying to earn. That's their unfortunate planning. I always liked Wendy. She's not a liar. Kevin and Sharina deserve all the smoke. If there is such a place as hell, some people would say they both deserve a place there. But what do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies!